Thank you for joining us on Fem Talk 89 FM. I'm Losana Derenalagi, and here with me today is Saras Singh. She is a sugarcane farmer from Tagitagi, Tavya, and also a consultative member of the Advisory Council, and also Losana Cakausese. She is the president of the Badrau Women's Multiracial Group in Ba. And today we'll be discussing human security and protection before, during, and after humanitarian emergencies. Throughout the consultation, one of the common issues that we've been discussing has been economic security. And for you, Saras, I know you've been very passionate about the sugar industry, and as a farmer, you have challenges that you've shared. And also, Losana, you have mentioned about the increase in the unemployment in the community, and I know, and we know this is a contributing factor to the ongoing economic problems that we have. Now, let's start with you, Saras. As a sugarcane farmer, what changes do you think you need to ensure your protection and also this human security, this economic security can be met?
Thank you, Losana. First of all, the budget has been announced, and I need, as a farmer, the price of cane production should go from $60 to $100 per ton, so the farmers can meet their needs, their wants, and they can assist the laborers in their farms. If the farmers don't have enough, they cannot support their laborers.
Thank you, Sarah. You did mention something about the Sugarcane Growers Council too. What do you think?
For Sugarcane Growers Council, they should assist the farmers with fertilizers. They should cut the levy down. They should not have levy from the farmers. And the fertilizers there, the weedicides there. And at the moment, there is very much need of cane seeds. So I need this Growers Council to supply seeds for the farmers so they can regrow the cane production and it can grow up.
Okay, so that means for now you have to find your own seeds and plants for the sugarcane?
Yes, at the moment there is no sugarcane seed to plant for every farmers on this Western District for cane farming.
Thank you, Saras. How can this be done? What do you think can be done so that you can see these changes materialize in your sugarcane community?
So if money, the price of the sugarcane, the money has gone up, will go up, so the farmers can survive. They can survive. They can do everything in the cane farm. So just like they will help their laborers. They are supported by their farmers. Nowadays they can bring, just like the harvesting season is just about to consume, and they can bring the laborers far from the cutters. This time these cutters, they demand more than before.
So how much do you normally pay for the cutters?
Before we pay $13 to $14, $15 per ton for a cutter. And now the cutters, they demand $20 to $22 per ton, which is not enough for the farmer to give for the cutters.
Thank you, Saras. So why do you think you need these changes to be done? Why is it important?
It is important because this sugar industry, it is the second largest income source of this country. That's why I want this change to be done, so the sugar production can go up and income source that for the farmers and everybody for this country will grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Saras. Now let's move on to you, Losana Cakausese. One of the things that you mentioned is the unemployment, and it has caused, the increase of economic problem in your community. What is the changes you'd like to see?
Thank you, Law. The changes, I want to say that more jobs to be included in Fiji, especially for youths, handicapped, disabilities, also want to say that the retirement age to go up to 60 or 65.
Why do you say that? Why do you want the retirement age to go to 60 or 65 instead of 55?
I have said that rather than 55, we have seen that at 55, when they retired, they still very strong for that. They can work more than that from 55 years.
Thank you, Losana. And also we've heard from the consultation from the group that at that time there are people who are still paying loans and mortgages to repay. Thank you. How do you think this can be done?
Thank you, Lord. This can be done. The Ministry of Labor should work and collaborate with business people.
Why is it important? Why do you think it's important to get employment for the youths, for the community? Why is it important?
It's important to them to help in their families, to lessen, nowadays the youths without job, they can go here and there and, follow their ways. That's why in Fiji it happens a lot. That's why people end up in jail.
Okay, so you're saying the youths tend to go out their ways to meet their needs.
Yes.
Because they don't have any money to use. Thank you, Losana. Increasing women's empowerment, economic empowerment, has also been identified as an important strategy for transforming relations and facilitating women's leadership. Okay, now let's talk about the situation before and after Winston. For you, Saras, not only as a sugarcane farmer, but also as a consultative member of the advisory council, I know you have a job to go out into the community and see the community. So what was it like? What was the situation like in the community after the Winston?
After Winston, there was a big drought, and the drought was about 2.5 years. And after that, the Winston came, which destroyed nearly everything in Western District. And the price, the cost of living, the price for everything has gone up. And the expenses and the price for the cane at the moment is not enough to all our women to meet the expenses. Expenses that we children, for our children and our elderly, everybody in the home. We cannot meet that expenses.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. So what you're saying is even before Winston, you have this drought. It has gone on for more than 2.5 years, and it also, you face the same problem even before Winston.
Yeah.
Thank you. And after Winston, after the drought, and then the Winston came along. So what is the situation like now?
After the TC Winston, the situation, it has become more worse. Because after Winston, there is a big flood there. The vegetables, the people planting the vegetables, all are washed away. And sugarcane production, that has been damaged badly. So people are suffering now, and nearly 4-5 months now, people are about to plant their vegetables at backyard gardening. So the backyard gardening the soil is not good enough for planting. So people are suffering now.
Why do you say that, the soil? What happens to the soil?
The soil, the maturing of the soil, it has been destroyed by the flood. So there is no just like chemicals in the soil left. Only this time the soils are just like dryness. Sure. So the people cannot plant now, and there is no rain now. It is again the drought season is there, so there is not enough water for the vegetable farmers to water their vegetables, to grow their vegetables, and it is now again people are facing drought.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been 5 months now after Winston, and also as a consultative member, you're going around into the community. What is the situation like?
Situation like this is, as you know, the economic for this sugarcane as we farmers is very less. At the moment, if farmers have more money, they can support their laborers. In my community, there are our laborers, more laborers there. They come around, they work, as for housewives, people used to help them. As we women, we know our women needs. So when these women, they come to us, if we don't even have enough work to do, but we give them something to do, so then they can survive there. We can give them some little rice or sugar there, dal there, everything we supply them by that, because farmers too, they don't have much money. In my community, they are not much richer farmers, they are also poor farmers. So they can survive there for their labors for the children. And there is one labor in my community, he has got 6 children. He got 6 children. He's originally from Lambasa, but he has come this side for cane cutting. He was here for nearly 3 years. And now, I think the children, the eldest one is in Form 5. She is a girl, Form 5 and Form 6. Both are girls. And they used to look more than the boys now, and they suffer looking another way to the girls because they are all grown up. And then this father is, I think he was tensioned, not enough food in the house, and he has to beat his son. And now the son, he has suffered, all injured, he's in his body, and the father is now end up in the jail. So if enough money is there for farmers in this cane, especially in cane farming, the laborers will not suffer. Thank you.
Thank you, Saras. I know you're very passionate about this issue because you are a farmer yourself, and it was quite interesting. You did mention something about your forefathers' agreement when they came.
Yes, as we women, we are we farmers of this country here, Western District. As our forefathers, they came before. They were working so hard on this farm. They worked like what, and they were whipped. Everything was done them. They were kicked at that stage. Our grandfathers, they used to tell us that we are being whipped like this, we are being done like this. We never used to go and sleep. We never used to feed our babies. No time for that. And just like now, and at the end, they don't earn much. They don't have much in their hands. And just like that, we all are here now. We cane farmers of this Western District, we are just like that. We don't have enough at the end. We don't have enough left in our pockets. So my children, I have got 4 children, 3 sons and 1 daughter. So my children, they are all married. And last year, they said to us, Mommy and Papa, you people, now we better leave this place because you people suffer. We don't want to suffer with our children. And then they said, we are going to find our job. So one of my son, he went, another one, then 10 by 10, they all went. And then they're now satisfied in where they are staying now. We are staying here as a second generation for Girmit. Thank you.
Thank you, Saras. Now let's go to you, Losana. You mentioned about the unemployment and the increase in the number of the unemployment in the community. Before Winston, what was the situation like?
Thank you, Lo. Before Winston, people are there, they are not employed. And nowadays we have seen the cost and the prices of day living is much higher than before. And I've seen that, I think a couple of months ago, we have heard that the fuel and the gas, the prices have put down. And now we have seen that it's gone up again. And, especially in the communities, there are people not working and they're not having good job. That's around in the western side and all in Fiji. That's what I want to say. They are unemployed. And the daily that I already mentioned, where they're going to bring in a day the table for the family, the food for the day, 3 days. We have been there. And now, some in the communities, they are getting only 2 times their meals. Then before, they used to get it 3 times. And now, that's what facing the communities now and other surroundings, villages. Thank you.
Thank you, Losana and Saras. Right, we've talked about all the challenges and what we want to see. Now, let's talk about what we want to see now as women. How are women leading the responses in your communities to address the issue that you've talked about?
As we women, we work in the farm nearly 6, 7 to 8 hours in the farm with our husbands. After working in doing all the houseworks, we go to farm. We work there whole day. But me as a woman, I suggest that we should be paid. Women should be paid. Not $100, at least $80, for they can cope up with their own needs. Thank you.
That's quite interesting. So you mean as a sugarcane farmer yourself, as a woman,
Yeah.
you think that you should at least be recognized for what you do?
Yes.
Thank you. Losana, what are the responses, women-led responses in the community that you have to address the issue of unemployment?
Thank you, Law. In the communities, we're trying to encouraging each other from women to women. The situations are facing in the communities. We can say that, in the community settlements or villages and surroundings, they are turangani koro. They have to be work together with the advisory council. They have to be calmed down and ongoing commitment, so that we can, in the communities like this, especially that I have said, they have to work and encouraging each other.
Thank you. Saras, you mentioned in the consultation that women have been going out with you to the other women as well, and you've been mobilizing women to help other women. Okay, how can we support these women? How can we support these women so that we can also, the barriers that is part of our community?
The barriers women are facing now, we should include more women in growth councils, advisory councils, and in other organizations. We should include more women, because some women, they cannot talk to the men. Everywhere men are, every stage, everywhere a man is there. So some women, they are not their husbands, they don't allow them to talk to another man. So I suggest that women should be more women should be included in everywhere.
Do you agree to that, Losana? Because in the consultation also came up the police. Maybe we need more police women so that you take women issues?
Yes, I think so. It's very true. Perhaps people don't respect women, and women are not respected by men. And in some cases, our voices, the women's voices, are not heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing women's leadership and building on their skills and capabilities is very important for the development holistically of the community. The voices of women in crisis-affected communities are clear. There is a strong demand for strengthening women's leadership and humanitarian protection and responses. Thank you so much, Saras Singh from Tagitagi, Tavya, and Losana Cakausese, President of the Badrau Multiracial Club in Ba, for talking to us. And I'm Losana Derenalagi on Fem Talk 89 FM.